This one is from 1999. Packing on mass. Mr. Olympia shows you how. All right. Yeah, it's almost sad that I was still buying these in 1999 because by then I knew better. But, I was just so addicted to them. It was such a habit over the years. And I mean, regardless if it's a vehicle for marketing supplements, I still love the pictures, and then 2020, in 2024, when these things are now a thing of the past, it's a big nostalgia trip. Pure protein. Wide guy. The bare bones of the Mr. Olympia deltoid workout that built the broadest, freakiest shoulders on earth by Ronnie Coleman. Now, Phil Heath had a knock on his physique. He was criticized for not being wide enough. Now, if there was something you could really do about that, I'm sure he would have. I mean, he had a great physique, but he just wasn't as wide as some of the guys, some of the other legends. It's genetic. It's genetic. Still hardcore after all these years. Joe Weider is always to be found at the center of bodybuilding action. On this occasion, the 1998 Mr. Olympia. The new growth hormone stack. That's me. I wasn't that back in 1999, though. I'd only been doing it for about 3 years. Flex, testosterone elevation. It's time released. Anabolic. It might be I wonder if that's a pro hormone. They could get away with selling pro hormones. They couldn't get away with selling all out pharmaceutical enhancement. I think you're not allowed to say that word on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken, the S word. So I'll say anabolic assistance or pharmaceutical enhancement. But you could get away with selling hormones, not hormones, but pro hormones. Pro hormones were pretty popular, probably still are. And SARMs, if you guys know what they are. And what pro hormones do is they stimulate a weak strain of your own natural testosterone. So it isn't synthetic testosterone. So I guess they've been able to get away with that. Yep. Supplements. Lee Priest. Yep. GNC. It's all you need to know about protein supplements. I mean, at the very best, some of these magazines will contain a few interesting articles with maybe a slither of truth, maybe a lot of truth. Robbie Robinson. Wow. The world's first integrated anabolic protein formula. Yeah, Robbie Robinson was a legend. And Vince Taylor is aiming to three-peat at the Masters Olympia in July. I wonder if the Masters Olympia is still happening. Probably not. Because, I mean, as I've said before, at some point, your joints really start to deteriorate. You know, hardcore bodybuilding really isn't a sport for older people. Just because of the deterioration. I mean, particularly if you were doing it at a young age and you've continued through the years, at some point your joints start to pay the price. And, you know, next thing you know, you're modifying exercises just to get through it. Sean Ray. He's definitely one of my favorites. The Incredible Hulk and Jacko. Yeah, I remember hearing about this. Lou Ferrigno was going to train Michael Jackson. You know, but this is back when people assumed that a bodybuilder was the best course of action if you wanted a trainer, which is just pure ignorance. It's not true. You know, essentially, you know, physical therapists, you know, exercise physiologists are able to administer exercise recommendations and design programs. You know, bodybuilders, physical therapists, exercise physiologists, kinesiologists, this is all exercise. You know, but the difference between the bodybuilders and the physical therapists and the kinesiologists and so forth is the therapists aren't using anabolic assistance. You know, and it just gives people a real false impression of what can be accomplished. Designer proteins, just, yeah. Beginner syndrome, 2 symptoms, curling pain and lagging legs. Ask Mr. Olympia. Yeah, now, Ronnie Coleman may be the most genetically gifted Mr. Olympia winner. There have been people who were actually bigger, you know, but they didn't have the shape and proportions to win the Mr. Olympia. You know, so Ronnie Coleman is probably the most genetically gifted Mr. Olympia winner. Growth is achieved by employing textbook form. Yeah, I don't know about optimum growth. I mean, but it definitely keeps you out of the hospital. You definitely want to practice really good form when you do those big movements. But Ronnie Coleman would squat so heavy. You know, and he would say, ain't nothing but a peanut. Yeah, buddy. I mean, he would squat so heavy. No wonder he uses a walker. No disrespect to him. I mean, but he really trained hard. You know, him and Dorian Yates. But, you know, I don't know. I think Ronnie Coleman may have outworked Dorian Yates. Kim Shavesky, I remember her. Yeah, the anabolic assistance really affected her face because she looks like a man. Look at that. She looks like a man. Jeez. If you decide to pursue bodybuilding, lift as heavy as possible for 10 reps. I mean, the jury's out on that, but most people say that you should lift heavy if you want to make maximum gains. I mean, and there has to be some truth to that, but of course, I mean, you sacrifice the health and integrity of your joints. Wide Guy by Ronnie Coleman. Yeah. Yep, just listen to Ronnie Coleman and you can be as wide as he was. The Ronsters Monster Delt Program. All right. Alternating front raises, upright rows. I remember upright rows started to really hurt my shoulders at some point. You know, but that's something that they don't talk about. Is it really catches up to you. It's all fun and games when you're a youngster, but it really does catch up to you. And more supplements. Now here's one with The Rock on the cover. And this is from 2002. Muscle and Fiction. That's what they used to call this at when I was at Tenley Sport and Health. They would call it Muscle and Fiction. Metrics. Engineered for nutrition. Your training is brutal. The side effects shouldn't be. Yeah, that's hard to accomplish. Yeah, I'm a big believer in really tempering your intensity. I mean, there does need to be a lot of there does need to be intensity. You do need to work hard, but you don't want to end up with chronic pain. It's not worth that. You know, and it's really hard to find that balance. I'm always tinkering with mine personally. Ronnie helps you build an unbeatable back. Yeah. Turning back the clock, the age-defying properties of the bodybuilding lifestyle. Though there is truth to that, but it's not necessarily all bodybuilding. It's strength training in general, and smart strength training. And few people understand that. Labrada. Yeah, few people understand that. And there's a lot of bad information on the internet. You know, like I said before, even some of your favorite YouTubers, some of the guys with millions of followers are BSing you. And I can tell you this, when they talk about changing the appearance of your physique, saying that this can make that bigger, this will make your chest bigger, this will make your shoulders bigger, guaranteed results, biceps, so forth. And the minute they say that, they expose themselves as a phony, because a real legitimate professional is not going to guarantee aesthetic changes, because you can't guarantee that. It's genetically predetermined. The training experts tell all. You can do 11 reps with good form, add 5% to the weight for upper body exercises. I think Mike Matarazzo passed away, if I'm not mistaken. And so many of these guys die before their time. I wonder why. And more supplements. Yeah, I have so many of these. Instead of just, showing you a few covers or a bunch of covers, I decided to delve deeper into individual magazines here. Cramps. Milk can cause nausea, flatulence, and bloating, and diarrhea. Milk can make you sick to your stomach. Milk can make you ask yourself, am I lactose intolerant? The Rock rolls. Mass production. Metrics. Pure protein. Frank Zane. I always thought he had a nice aesthetic physique without going off the deep end with the size, which is where bodybuilding is today. I mean, these guys are playing the size game, rather. Not side, but size. And they're just getting too big. And the aesthetics is gone, in my opinion, for the most part. Animal Pack. help grow muscle while you sleep. All right. I like this. Primary involved muscles, muscle joint action. You know, I wish they would have gotten more into this. Holyfield versus Lewis. I wish they would have gotten more into this. Get more into the physiology and, you know, agonist muscles versus antagonist muscles, so forth and so on. I don't think they never really gave enough credible, useful information. You know, like I said before, a lot of it was just telling us what we wanted to hear. Just supplements, man. Look at this. Supplements. Wow. Wow. Straight arm pull down. I use those. One leg at a time. You know, that's not bad. They're talking about unilateral exercise. That's good information, but of course, you know, they're focusing on size, you know, and appearance. But the main benefit of unilateral training is neurological. You know, just giving your central nervous system a different workload to overcome, you know, because it registers unilateral training differently than it does bilateral for obvious reasons. Growth hormone, whey protein. Yeah, blood test confirmed with 13 times more growth. How to flood your muscles. There's a how to flood your muscles. Oh, clinical blood test confirmed how to flood your muscles with 13 times more growth protein for 24 hours. Yeah, we ate this stuff up, you know, when we were youngsters. More supplements. But as I've gotten older, I just, you know, I'm muscular, but I don't really focus on it. Like it's there's not anything in particular that I do to get there. I don't train like a bodybuilder anymore. You know, any muscularity, the book on chest training, any muscularity I have is really genetic, but I don't focus on that anymore because I'd rather just be pain-free and mobile as I get older. That's my personal goal. I don't want to be that guy that can't move, that old man who can't move. The book on chest training. And that's my personal advice. I mean, just let your genetics do what they're going to do as far as aesthetics. I mean, of course, if you're, you know, under 30, then go ahead and try to get as big as you can. It's not going to be a big deal, but it'll catch up to you. But as far as the older guys, I wouldn't focus too much on constantly trying to get bigger. You know, because frozen shoulder and like hip impingements and shoulder impingements and, you know, jacked up knees, that stuff is not fun. I haven't had all of that, but I have had frozen shoulder. And that was a long process of recovering from that. It really was. Nitrotech helped me gain an extraordinary. Yeah, everything is about size. Scorpion or hit has one goal: to be the best. Muscle and Fitness goes one-on-one with the man who may just be the next Arnold of the action movie genre. Okay. I think The Rock loves that anabolic assistance, probably now more than ever. He looks almost natural here. All right, anyway, I mean, I could just go on forever just going through these books, these old magazines. I was a fan of Dorian Yates. I liked his attitude. You know, he really was a no-nonsense guy. He just put in the work. You know, unlike these modern guys who are too busy taking selfies and posting shit on social media, man, this guy was just all about the work. All right. So I'm just going to draw this to a close here. I'd like to thank you for watching PLA Mind and Body Works. Please subscribe and comment and like, share, and I'll be back with more content on the fitness industry, personal training, and strength training in general. Jay Cutler. All right. See you next time.